Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to PotterTime. Ryan Lindley here with Eric Myers, another exciting edition. We're talking Morton High School and Morton Junior High School sports. And Eric, just give me a quick rundown. What's up? What are some of the highlights of this last week?
Yeah, so we've been a busy week here at Morton High School. It feels like some of our stuff's finally starting to get a little bit more in tune with what a fall season should be, but we're still missing some big sports. So we had some cross country, we had some tennis we'll talk about. But the big thing is we got to start some contact days, right, Coach, for football?
Yeah, so it's kind of exciting this last 2 or 3 days. We've been out on the field after school. Sort of feels like a practice, sort of feels like summer camp. I don't know exactly what it is sometimes, but at least we're on the field with the guys getting better in some way. We still aren't having physical contact. So far we haven't put on pads. Now we will be allowed to put on pads next week. Still won't be able to tackle, but it might look a little bit more like actual football practice.
But like you said, you're at least out there.
Yeah.
So we're on the field, which is positive. Talk to me a little bit about what you guys are trying to do in this. You only have a limited amount of contact days this fall, preparing for a season that's going to start in February, hopefully, cross your fingers. What's going through your mind and what are you trying to do out there?
Yeah, we're really trying to do two things. I mean, number one is just get stronger. We're still using a weight room segment, so basically half of our time is spent in the weight room. And the second part of it is I guess you call it mentally stronger. We've put in most of our run offense, still a few pieces to go there. We're building up the passing offense, especially with the young guys, trying to teach them, in some cases, new positions or multiple positions. I would say our varsity guys are in a position where, in all seriousness, they stepped right in from where we left off in the summer. Young guys, obviously, it's still a little bit developmental.
Yeah, so do you get to work with the freshmen at all, incoming freshmen? So how's that going? They've never been exposed to a high school program. They had a little bit of summer camp, just a couple workouts, and now they're jumping into a fall season that's completely different than anything you ever expected.
Yeah, I think for a lot of them, they just really wish they could be playing. I mean, we all do, but that opportunity to start their high school career in football season. Obviously that didn't happen. We'll be there in February. But in a way, I think it's kind of positive because I suspect that this is going to be a freshman group that is more well-versed in stuff than a typical freshman group, because usually, you start a season in August, you're putting stuff in up until the last week trying to get the freshmen to have a more, full concept of what we're trying to do offense and defense. They're going to have had essentially an extra 3 weeks, an extra month of prep before they even play a game than you would normally. So maybe it ends up being a little bit deeper, let's say, playbook for the freshmen.
And understanding the meaning, understanding what to do. So you mentioned this amazing weight room you guys are working in. Tell me about how are things going in this brand new, nicely renovated, thank you Morton District 709. Yes. It looks amazing in there. How's things going in this new weight room with awesome weights and equipment?
It's fantastic. I mean, again, thank you to everybody who is behind making that happen. Bigger weight room, able, especially in today's world where you can't have as many people in there, can't have as many people in a confined space. We are in a couple different groups, but everybody's getting the opportunity to get in there. Obviously, opportunity to use new equipment. It's a simple thing, but sometimes something that's kind of new and makes it a little more fun. It just seems like there's a lot more energy in the weight room recently than there was maybe you go back a year ago.
Yeah, so energy is a positive anytime we can get that. Speaking of energy, cross country.
Yeah.
We finally got some cross country meets in. We had the second one of the season. They had a Washington and Metamora over at Oak Ridge Park. Kind of a three-way ordeal this year. So it looks like the runners got to go out staggered. So it's a little bit of a different activity there. And it looks like we have some exciting girls' names coming up through the ranks. Freshman, sophomore, underclass. Yeah. It's kind of carrying our team a little bit, which is kind of nice, huh?
Yeah, both boys and girls, and we got a little info here. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a look at what we've got. If you look at some of the times, very impressive, I think, as well. But one of the runners that obviously did a great job was Arlie Akers, and she finished in 19 minutes and 19 seconds. Obviously, Tegan Beyer at 20:34, Anna Kloffenstein 20:48. So obviously, I think Coach Zare is going to be pretty happy with where the girls' team is right now.
Yeah, it's some pretty much serious young progress. And on the boys' side, we hadn't done a saw shot either. We've had 2 meets here, and they're continuously to go through again, like Coach did.
I didn't get that.
So going through our varsity scores, Josh Weeks in a 16:10, which is pretty impressive. Cade Zebras right behind him in 16:18, and then Chase Sauter and Keegan Anderson right at 16:40. I mean, that's top 4 right there. I mean, that's pretty impressive for a young team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those guys are just flying. Like, I mean, you know, I mean, you go out and run, but I say these guys very impressive with what they're doing.
Yeah, that's not really my time. Those are 3-mile times, my 2-mile times about there. So I do what I can. At least I'm staying in shape, but it is what it is. So Coach really wants, Coach there wants us to come out and say Detweller Park this weekend. Varsity teams are going to compete at the Mid-Illini Pre-Conference Meet, which is pretty interesting right there. So what else is on the docket, Coach?
Well, you were mentioning you got a little update on girls tennis. So tell me a little bit about what you got there.
Yeah, so for our Potter Hour announcements, we got the ability to interview senior tennis player Maggie Sullivan. And she kind of gave us a little update that she's going to share with the school going through that. But they've had a couple different meets. They've had several that have been rained out, which is kind of a bummer for them. But they're playing really good tennis. They've had some double success, she has specifically, and some single success. She said they have yet a young team, a lot of freshmen and sophomores, and they're trying to battle through and just figure it out. And she was pretty promising that they're going to have a good end to this season. Hopefully they have some postseason, but nobody knows at this point, which is kind of interesting. Nobody knows what exactly is going to happen. We have some regionals, that's about it. But other than that, we don't know.
Yeah, and obviously that goes for cross country as well. And so we're obviously hoping that there might be some changes allowed for some at least sectional competition. At this point, it doesn't necessarily look that way. But, I mean, ultimately, the end goal is to be as successful as you can be against whoever you're competing with.
100%. And we hope that our athletes get that ability to challenge each other and challenge themselves against some different talent, maybe from outside the area as time goes on, especially in those sports where you can really social distance. A sport maybe per se like golf or even tennis.
Yeah.
And cross country should be our social distance.
Yeah.
Just run faster, right?
Let's be ahead of everybody. Like we said, that Josh Weeks is 16:10, right? They said he's got to be around nobody.
Yeah. Game on.
All right. Real quick, Coach, let's talk some junior high baseball again because we talked about it last week. I got a chance to see the 8th grade team play this past Saturday. Really well played game against Bloomington, a 9-0 win in game 1, and then game 2 was a 12-0 victory. Obviously, you've been coaching the 7th graders and just had a big win last night.
Yeah, so we played at Dunlop Valley last night, another big win, 6-0. Isaac Bender's on the mound, had total command, a really good game right there against a very good Dunlap team as well. So the interesting thing about junior high baseball, 7th and 8th grade both is we've had multiple no-hitters throughout the season and a whole bunch of one-hitters. Last night again was a one-hitter. I think the 8th grade's at 3 no-hitters and we have 3 no-hitters in the 7th grade team. So it's a lot of pitching that's coming up through the ranks, which makes us super excited as freshman and sophomore baseball coaches at some point that these guys are going to trickle through and keep with it. But we're putting the bat on the ball, getting through the zone, scoring some runs. Both our games on Saturday at the 7th grade level were 10-run rules as well. So we have 2 more. We have another game on Saturday, doubleheader, versus Washington out at Westwood Park. So if you're bored, and then we have 2 more games to run out the season in the 7th grade realm, and the 8th grade has a couple more as well next week on Monday and Wednesday. So season's wrapping up. Another time, hopefully the IESA will allow us to have some sort of regional competition after this is over too for the 8th grade level because we have some impressive individuals on that team.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been really impressed with Ryan Shafton. He's pitched the 2 games that we've got, or 3 games, I guess, that we've gotten to call on our Morton Potters Baseball YouTube channel. Craig Wright and I have called those. Ryan's been dominant on the mound, and we've seen Jacob Wiegand throw well, also Jack Mitchell. So again, obviously the pitching in the 7th and 8th grade groups is really good. Our next live stream, if we want to go ahead and mention that, will be on this coming Monday, September 14th. Your 7th grade group will take on the Morton Union, which is the combined Blessed Sacrament Bethel Lutheran team. So it's sort of the Battle of Morton, and that'll be a 4:15 start out at Westwood Park. But again, if you want to check us out on the YouTube channel, we'll have that broadcast for you.
You should definitely check that on the YouTube channel. Coach and Coach do a really good job on that. Coach and Coach, we should call that.
That's true. It could be like a whole show.
Good. But, so that's a good one. Anything else to round us out with, Coach?
I just want to once again say that it's good to get some more action going. It's really exciting to be back on the field, even just for the contact days for football. I know basketball's going to be starting that up soon, and obviously we'll do some high school baseball contact days as well. Good to see tennis and cross country and golf having the success that they're having. So it's getting, I guess you might say it's getting more normal, and we want to just let you know that keep tuning into us. Get out, watch some competitions. This is a fall with so far a lot of success. Maybe people haven't noticed it as much because some of the high-profile sports like, say, football or boys soccer aren't going, but really successful sports season going on right now at Morton High School, Morton Junior High. So if you get the opportunity, come out, be a part of that.
Yeah, we definitely need to support our student athletes. They work hard in the classroom as well as out of the classroom. And we have this gift of the seasons for them right now, and we just need to get out there and support them any way possible. So if you can socially distance and go support, a girls tennis match, a boys golf match, swimming, whatever there is out there, find something, support them, cheer them on. I guarantee that they would love to have you there. I know that our players light up when they see the fans out there cheering them on a good play. So anytime you have an opportunity to support a Morton High School student athlete, or any student athlete for that matter, please do so. That means the world to them. So for PotterTime, this is Eric Myers, Ryan Lindley.
Goodbye, everybody.
Have a good one.